Welcome to SharePoint JSON list formatting training. We're going to be taking a look at doing a toggle button in a SharePoint list. This is similar to a checkbox. You just click on it and it toggles to the right. You click on it again and it toggles to the left. Just that simple. If you're interested in learning how to code JSON formatting templates, this training's for you. So if you're ready, let's begin. Okay, so first make sure you click on the link in the description of the video, and this will open up the training page for JSON list formatting training. And if this is your first time doing any of this training, make sure that you start by looking at the introduction and resources section. You can click on those to learn more. That was covered in a prior video. In this training, we're going to be doing the toggle button. And this allows us to format a yes/no field in SharePoint and show a toggle button on the SharePoint list. When you click on the button, it's going to change the value. So it's a really nice interactive feature for your users. In order to use this, you just need to create a field. I've created a field in my practice list called active. It's simply a yes/no field. And you can see right now it's not formatted. If we look into the template, we can see the HTML that's going to be created. So in the instructions, that's the first thing it tells you. All of these templates create HTML. JSON code is instructions to SharePoint to create styled HTML elements. So this is the HTML we're going to be generating as we go through our example. As with other formatting templates, we always got to begin with the basics. We need to include the formatting schema used for our template. This is a column formatting template, and so it's going to begin with that standard URL. You can expand that, click copy to editor, and this is our first div. We often refer to this as the outer div. So we're ready to go on to the next step, and it tells us our instructions for what to do next. We need to continue to build out the skeleton of the HTML, the structure of what we're trying to create. So we need to have two children, and those are going to be divs as well. And then also we're setting the style node with a display attribute of flex. So we're setting the CSS so it knows how to display this element. So you can see the code now expanded to include those two child elements, and now we have the main structure set for our HTML. In the next part, we're going to do more styling. So we need two style nodes, and we're going to set the font size so we can have a nice big toggle button. And we also need it to show as a cursor. When people hover over this, we want them to know they can click on it to do something. Now we've got two nodes. The way this works is we're going to have one version of the toggle button according to whether the value is true or false. So this will make a little bit more sense in a second. We're just doing our setup work at the moment. I can go ahead and copy this to the editor. You can see the changes we're making. So we're just simply defining how big the button's going to be. This left margin with a negative value, what's going on here is we're making two elements overlap each other. So again, this is going to make more sense as we get further along in our code. Now we're going to add the interactive function to this. We're going to tell SharePoint what to do when a user clicks on this. And that's done using this custom row attribute, custom row action, excuse me. If you click on it, you can read more about that in the Microsoft documentation. And then inside of that, we add an action attribute and an action input to tell it what to do. And we need to reference our own field there. So if I go to show the code, you can see I've got more content going on here. So this tells it what to do when we click. We have this custom row action. Notice it says field required. Well, you can't leave it as field required. We need to change that, and it needs to be whatever your field is named. In my practice, I'm just naming this to action. So be sure after you copy that to the editor that you're going to update that with your field. If you don't do this, it's not going to work. This tells SharePoint which field to update. So I just switch that to say action. That's the name of the field in my SharePoint list, and then I will be good to go. All right. So now we can move on to the next part, and this is the last part. We're going to do more styling. This is controlling how this is going to look, and it's also setting the icon name. We're using an icon here to show that toggle button. We need to specify that. And then also we're going to do a lot of things with the font colors. We're going to tell this what colors it should look like depending on whether it's true or false or whether we're hovering over it. So a lot of adjustments in this last step. We'll zoom in and take a look at that. So we're using if conditions to check whether or not that yes, no field is true or not. So in the top, you can see a little bit how that works. So if it's true, it's going to have a green color. If not, it's going to have a gray color. And then we have similar settings which help us with the effect on hover when the user hovers over it. That's what this hover reference is. As with all the other templates, what you should try doing is play around with those colors and do something different, and you can style it to look the way you want. You can also play around with the size. We've got this at font size 60. So every time you see a 60 in there, you could change that to a different value. Most key thing you must not forget is to fill in the name of your field where it says field required. That's very important. Okay, so make sure you've copied that to the editor and make sure you've swapped in your field name. In my case, I'm using a field which I called active. And at that point, I'm ready. I can copy the code, come back over into SharePoint. I go to the column header, column settings, format this column, advanced mode, select all, paste, save. And there it is. There's the toggle button. And you can try it out. So you can see I just click on it and it's changing the value directly from the list view. Very handy. Naturally, you may like to style this differently. So again, what you should do next is try adjusting the style. Try adjusting the size. Look at the color class references and you can try different settings there. So if I go up in the page, you can see if I click on font color, for example, there's a reference here of different colors. You can scroll through this and find font color references if you want to see other color options you could try. In the bottom, there is also a link to a live preview. This is very handy, and it's another way you can find some other color references. This shows you a preview, how it will look in SharePoint, and you can see some different options. If I pick into these different theme options, I can see examples, different examples of how this might look depending on which settings I apply. So be sure to play around with those settings to get some ideas, and then you can return back to your training code to make adjustments and do something different. All right, so that concludes the training on the toggle button using the yes/no field. And if you were able to apply that code and get it working, you've completed this training session. There's lots of training, so be sure to go through each of those modules on that SharePoint JSON formatting page. Hope you found that useful. Good luck.